The Fast Lane to Success. Secrets of a Ghost Millionaire. Introduction. Success. Before you can define success by yourself, you must make a list of that success for you and your family. Then, follow the steps that can be followed up that you can take to achieve that success. For example, if your success has a high-paying career, then potential steps are to continue your professional education or training. Or if you look at success in a next talent such as writing, then potential steps may include applying daily or weekly writing goals to maintain it. There is no bad way to succeed, but you can take action to become more efficient depending on the definition of your own goal. Success in life is whatever you define. Maybe for you, you want to determine how to be successful in achieving financial freedom, or a flexible work schedule. Some might want to travel to the world while others just want to pursue what they like. Being a success is not necessarily rich or award-winning, it can also be about personal fulfillment. If you have to design a perfect day, what is the shape? Will you sit on a bench next to the lake that wrote your memoir? Do you imagine yourself climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and take a big breath once you get to the top? Or maybe you just want to spend all day playing with your children. Why do you want to learn how to be successful in life will be personal for you. Partners, parents, and friends, you might have the definition of their success. But their definition is not for you. Whatever it will make you feel fulfilled and happy, is what you need to focus on when mastering the art of being successful. How to be successful. 1. Create a goal. Determine what success is for you. You can't work if you don't know what it means to you. Everyone sees it differently. True success comes from achieving what makes you happiest in life. After you identify it, you can set meaningful and important goals for yourself. Try writing your definition of success. Is it about getting a certain income, living in a certain area, or keeping a happy family? Will it work to allow you to travel, except for retirement, or maintain a healthy social life? If you have a problem, consider what makes you the happiest in life. Does this spend time with your family, traveling, chasing hobbies, or something else? What will you do if money isn't a problem? Then identify what you need in life to achieve happiness. Identify your highest goals or goals. Identify the things you like and satisfy you. After you do this, use this information to find your destination or purpose. Find out what will motivate you along the way. It's much easier to move towards your goal constantly if it is something you like. Consider where you want to be at 5, 10, and 20 years. What can you do to achieve that dream? If you are confused about your goals, try to meet with a career counselor or visit a good psychologist. Your goal must be measured. For example, instead of setting goals to be better in your work, making indicators such as my goal is to increase my productivity by 30% and just late to work a maximum of 5 times a year. Destroy your goals into small steps. Focus on simplifying your ideas and setting what you need to achieve that goal. It's easier and less overwhelmed to be achieved if you approach your destination with a peace. For example, is the purpose of starting a technology company that seems very unable to be achieved? Break it into small goals. This can include developing business plans, finding investors, getting loans, or producing product ideas. Be sure to set your goals with SMART techniques. This means that they must be specific, measurable, can be achieved, relevant and limited time. Ask yourself whether every purpose is following these criteria. Set the deadline when you want to achieve your destination. It has a difficult deadline, but it can be achieved. Make sure you have enough time to reach every small step. Appearing on national comedy shows may not be worth a year from now. However, it is possible to order comedy shows in front of 20 paying clients. Also, make sure to set a guide for a small purpose. For example, set goals about joining the improved team at the end of the month or appearing in an open mic session within 3 months. Identify the resources that you need to achieve your goals. This can be a tool, lessons, funds, or other resources to help you achieve your goals. You may need certain skills, such as speaking in public, or other people, like employees or consultants. For example, you might need a bank loan to start your own business. For this, you must have a good credit rating and bank. If you want to be a musician, you might need to invest in your instrument, music, and website. 2. Manage your time and productivity. Set the schedule for yourself. Make a list that must be done every day. For long-term projects, set a destination or daily task to help solve it. Check the task when you finish remains motivated. Having a schedule can make you organized, even on the days when you feel not motivated. Use the calendar application on your mobile or write your homework in the planner. Make sure you have clearly written all deadlines. If you forget things easily, set a reminder or alarm on your mobile to remind you. Realistic about how long every task takes. Set more time for each of you to think you will need. Minimizing as much disturbance as possible. It's almost impossible 100% for the task of 100% of the time. However, disorders can prevent you from working efficiently. Sometimes it's okay to rest. However, if your goal is to take a back seat because of a small disturbance, it's time to push them away. Work in a quiet place if possible. If there is a sound at your workplace, wear headphones that cancel the noise outside or earplugs to block it. Ask your friends and family not to bother you when you do something. Let them know that you need this time for yourself. If necessary, turn off your cell phone or place it in a drawer when you work. Take a 5-minute break every hour can help you focus again, a short walk, snack, or stretch. Avoid multitasking. Working on more than one thing at the same time can reduce your productivity. Give your full attention to certain tasks. Delegate tasks to others if possible. Delegation is about managing time. You might think you are a superhero, but your strength is limited. Delegating certain less important tasks will give you more time to focus on things that are entirely important for your work. If you write a novel, ask a friend or editor to read it for you. Instead of editing it yourself, that person can check it and give you advice about the plot. If you need a website for your business, rent a web designer to do it for you. If you do that, you don't need to learn about web design. Also, web pages will still look good. Believe that other people will do their work. It's hard to be successful if you don't trust the people around you. Part of being successful is about bringing together a capable team around you. If you don't trust other people to let them do their work, you might not work in yours. Consider different and varied factors when deciding who should be trusted to do work. Look at their skills, past experiences, references from others, or how trustworthy before. Believe that person as trust can be an incredible motivator. If you believe someone, they will want to do it well because they want to compensate for the trust you have. This is a strong motivational factor. Believe people because you need to. Instead of trying to do everything myself, delegate some tasks to others to do it. Don't forget to trust yourself too. Find counselors to help guide you. This person is usually someone who has a little more experience than you and who knows their profession, offers advice and helps you in your activities. You can ask your boss, teacher, relatively old or family friend to be your advisor. The mentor took satisfaction in knowing that their advice worked. The counselor can help you with the following. Network. This means making connections with people who have other connections. Having a network contact can be mutually beneficial because you can offer knowledge, opinions, or opportunities to someone in exchange for something. Solve problems. It learns about how to make ideas or implementations work in different situations. Your counselor can help you know what to change to enhance your ideas further. Strategy. A counselor might have a better vision than you because they are in the situation longer, with more success and failure. You can use their heritage experience to develop a strategy for the future. Continue to learn as much as you can. Never turn off your learn button. You never know when inspirational moments will happen. Keep listening to others, learn new skills, and learn new things. New information can help you make connections between ideas. Also, use these ideas to improve your life. Read books, watch documentaries, or take online classes to expand your knowledge. Dedicate yourself to some interesting things or taught you the skills needed. Learn as much as you can about industry, companies, hobbies, or your goals to be successful. What did successful people do in this field to achieve their goals? Take intentional risks. Successful people think and act greatly. Don't expect opportunities to knock on your door. Get out of your comfort zone and find out. Learn your risk, make sure the chances of you benefit you, and take a chance. Whether you are a long-distance runner or find a solution to a large technology company, partnering with your competitors can help you collect resources, motivate you to work harder, and develop new relationships. Lead, don't follow. Collect courage to do something different. All ideas that you have will not work, but you can still succeed with the project. Develop a project that makes you successful, even if it doesn't make you famous or rich. Find a problem to solve. Look around you and try to think about how you can contribute. What do you complain about or what is difficult for people? How can you make your life easier effectively? Can you make a product or provide a service that fills a critical gap? Some common problems include social problems. Can you think of similar social problems that need to be rediscovered? For example, social media reinvent the way people interact with others. Technology problems. Can you help people use technology to achieve what they need to do? For example, technology companies design computer processors smaller and stronger to improve user experience. Strategic problems. Can you help someone solve strategic problems? For example, advisors help other companies and individuals to become more productive, prosperous, and wise. Interpersonal problems. Can you help people get along better with others? For example, psychologists and marriage counselors help people explore complex personal relations networks. Use technology as a tool and not as a nuisance. Technology can be very strong but can also store your energy and productivity. Use technology to be productive, but don't let it distract you. Use planners or online applications to schedule goals, meetings, and daily tasks. Check the tasks you completed so that you remain motivated. Music usually distracts people when they work. If you need to hear music, try listening to soft jazz or classical music because it's less disturbing. Talk to your colleagues and bosses directly to avoid being flooded with emails. Set your inbox so that junk mail and not important messages are stored in different folders. 3. Establish a proper attitude. Visualize your success. The clearer and exactly you imagine your success, the easier it is for you to achieve it. If you face failure or setbacks, remember that you can achieve your dreams. Take a few minutes a day to imagine your success. Imagine yourself in the film where you succeed. What did you do in the film? What is the form of success? Enjoy your feelings and use them as a motivation to intensify them. Create a vision board about what is a successful meaning for you. Use images and motivational phrases that you find in magazines or websites to help you make a vision board. Place it in a place where you will often see it, like in the office or kitchen. Try to have healthy motivation when you imagine successfully. Successful people believe in themselves and their mission. Curious about everything you face. Many successful people have an insatiable curiosity about various things. If they don't understand how things work or don't know the answer to questions, they know. Usually, this leads them on the adventure of self-discovery, one where the journey is as important as the goal. Ask questions about everything you find. For example, ask your veterinarian what makes your dog different from humans, or talk to your neighbors on the page. If you find something new, try to see it or find more about it. What can you learn from it? Talk to other people about their experience and success. You can learn something new about someone you know. Accusing will help you find something beautiful and satisfying about everything. This can help you enjoy the invention trip rather than just fighting for the ultimate goal. Surround yourself with successful people. It's very sad to be around people with many initiatives. You can also give ideas to people, and they can even connect with others. They can also motivate and support you through the process. Learn famous people through their books, speech, and biographies. Have several approaches based on them, if possible. Knowledge is free because it is strong. Look at your life. Do you know someone who has achieved the success you imagined for yourself? Is that making? How do you approach your life? Ask for advice. Avoid people who make you go or prevent you from achieving your goals. They themselves will not let you succeed. Adjust your expectations to positive results. This is a brainless business, so you must have great confidence in yourself to resolve something. However, make sure your expectations can be managed and realistic. If they are too high, it will be more difficult to achieve your goals or overcome failure. Make your expectations flexible. For example, instead of hoping for success guaranteed in your new job, you might think, well, it might take a few moments to settle. If it doesn't work, I can find another job. Remember that there will always be a variable that you cannot control. However, you can control how you react to the situation. For example, if you sense something you don't expect, repeat yourself that it's just a temporary delay. Pay attention to feedback. Even if it is difficult to handle sometimes, constructive criticism can help you identify areas where you can improve. Learn to think about failure. It is impossible to be successful without stumbling somewhere along the way. 4. Overcome failures. Try again when you stumble. You must fail. Never hesitate to be a failure because life gives us some opportunities. What will define you will be how you wake up after falling. Do not give up. If your first experiment doesn't work well, don't give up. Don't make reasons. Don't rationalize failure by blaming someone or something else. Thank you when it's wrong. This will help you identify what you need to change to improve. Learn from failure. Each is the opportunity to learn. If you make a mistake and refuse to learn from it, chances are you will make the same mistake later. If you make a mistake and learn from it, you will not waste time making a mistake in the same way. Avoid thinking too much about failure or error. Accept that life is unfair. That is a fact. Instead of thinking too much about this injustice, consider going to the world and make it better. Think about how to take advantage of the situation. For example, if you work in a toxic environment, take the initiative to communicate and support your colleagues. Remind them of their success and motivate them when they need it. Sometimes unexpected events will occur, which blocks your goals. For example, Hurt yourself can prevent you from running a marathon. Create new goals or find alternative ways to achieve your dreams. For example, you can do light exercise for your joints, such as swimming, or have a recovery goal with physical therapy. Try hard to be happy in other aspects of your life. Remember that being successful does not guarantee to be happy. Success is equivalent to achieving goals, but don't assume it will make you happy. Instead, just focus on your destination, make sure you reach balance in your life. Aspire to be happy in other parts of your life. Don't burn the bridge along the way. Lots of life is about having personal relationships, so don't leave them. If you have found a cheap and efficient way to do nuclear fission but don't have a supportive social network, is it worth it? Experience value rather than the object. Your experience, not money or items, will make you happy in the long run. If you focus on creating memories with great people along the way, you will be happy. Focus on staying positive even when you fail. You will be surprised how effective you are if your mind guides your actions and is not the opposite. If you fail, don't be afraid to start. Bless is that you have the opportunity to become more successful. 5 wrong ways to seek success. There are big obstacles in terms of setting goals in business or in general life, and wondering in advance and anxiously if the proposed ideas or objectives will succeed. This question, drawn in the wrong way, usually produces results directly contrary to expected, since achieving success, that is, the positive results of our plan, depending on the succession of actions taken with resilience, intelligence, and hard work, and professional preparation. For this reason, it starts to think about an idea, and then hypothesize the results, no more than just a thought disorder, that the only thing to be achieved is to extinguish the innovation and creation fire by placing but daydreaming, and objection as a substitute for repairs and solutions. But not only rushing when it comes to beginner's prejudice is a dangerous element for the realization of goals. On the way, there are many situations and detours that directly and indirectly threaten the realization of our project. 1. Eliminating that mental factors play a fundamental role when it comes to success. In general, it is considered that to achieve valuable success, and it is only possible to define goals, increase the capital needed and build yourself as an expert in the field you want to do. The truth is that, as if all these aspects are not difficult, there are more important elements. This is mastery, and preparation of our minds. Untrained thoughts operate conventionally and try by all means to eliminate the risk as much as possible. This means that if someone is hesitant between leaving his work in a relationship that depends on and compiling his own startup with passion and energy, it is very likely that the most solid mental arguments will tend to live in a comfort zone. Thus, the mind will use the most reliable algic, fear of failure, loss of stability and money, time, competition, and whatever is needed to give up on the decision not to make yourself unknown fields must be done and become successful. Own devaluation. Overvaluation of others. Memories of events with adverse results in the past. Postponement with two weak arguments such as when I am X age, when I live alone, when I get married, when the country changes or politics, are nothing more than mental traps that prevent growth and victory. 2. Failure to properly analyze past failures. You learn from mistakes and failures, that's true. But it is also true that you must know how to read any past mistakes on time to be able to enlarge yourself from experience and move forward with updated ideas and enthusiasm. Success was not achieved just by going from failure to failure. If this premise is correct, it will be a fact of life for everyone to achieve their aspirations and dreams. However, most humanity fails every day, and only a small minority succeeds in their project. Michael Jordan has a famous expression that perfectly exemplifies how someone must really learn from mistakes. I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I lost nearly 300 matches. 26 times, they trust me to make a game winner's shot, and I miss it. I have failed over and over again and again in my life. But I never gave up. And that's why I have succeeded in life. Trying, survive, look for alternative roads, no mess, and understand the cause of the old mistake to fix it and avoid it in the future, ultimately at the end of the pillar where success is built with invisible threads. 3. Believe that success gets money, social status, or recognition. There is nothing more dangerous in the world than taking action motivated by the wrong feeling. Emotions such as the need for affirmation from others, envy in the luxury or economic position of others, or the belief that only as money will lead to a full and happy life that secretly threatens the real opportunity to be successful. Business plans, businesses, or work teams must be born due to pleasure, the desire to improve, and love of the activities chosen by someone to implement. Affirmations such as, I want to succeed so that everyone knows what I am worth, or when I have money, I will be able to do whatever I want without being accountable to anyone, and I will be happy, are as empty of actual content as there are few chances of success. Now, it is possible that anger is a way to achieve a good economic position or have a fame and its impact, but if the person does not carry out the activities he really enjoys, he just moves vibrantly. To outperform others and not yourself, or feel like you can buy fulfillment with money. Can you really talk about success? Success, in short, is harmony between various fields of existence, emotional, family, and work, so they do not only coexist but also that someone increases others, and thus happiness and victory are reached. 4. Imagine the world as static. We are the properties that can be changed. Water, atoms, thoughts, and everything in life are in the process of mutations and sustainable changes. Business is no exception. That is why to succeed, it needs to be adapted to change, but it is very important to progress and move more advance from them to create new products or services. Think about innovative ideas and head up. 5. Follow the thought line centered on logic. What does personality do? Like Einstein, Gandhi, Donald Trump, Henry Ford, or Lionel Messi has similarities. That they are all in their time and in their fields can solve the status quo. They surpass the norms and exceed conventional thinking patterns. To achieve success, there is no rigid key or template to be followed, and you only have to stand out by trying to be the best in a way that has never been seen before. Characteristics that make people successful. It seems that they are more than the principle recommended and that we all have to follow because they will take us closer to happiness. What are we talking about? What do these people do differently than others? 1. They take action. This expression will be very familiar to you, and maybe even you find it a little tiring because you have read it tons of times. But I observed that it continued to be the reason number 1 for failure to people who do not achieve their goals. Applied to us, read, for example, people who fail to create a successful online project. Continue with an example. If you are clear that you want to create a blog, just make it, stop preparation, and a 6-month course. Take a good tutorial because there are many of them on the internet, make and start thinking and writing content now. It doesn't matter if you are not clear about your last theme, just test. It doesn't matter if you are not clear about the blog name or how to make a logo, there will be time for it. It's all just a reason not to take action and do what you have to do, get out of it. If the results are not optimal, it doesn't happen at all. Will someone kill you for that? There will be time to fix it little by little. Another example, say you have created your blog and you want to learn how to position your content. Don't fall into a common mistake in finding SEO and spent months looking for the holy grail to do magic with Google. Just practice the basics, which you can see below, will teach you and stay there for now. If you focus, It won't take more than 2 to 3 hours. With that, you already know 80% of what you might need about SEO in practice. Now the important thing is to apply it now to get the benefits as soon as possible. At that time, you can return to the topic to crack the SEO if you compensate for you, but now there are other priorities. Successful people are unstoppable, and not looking for perfection, and they have a great end goal, but also always a small intermediary destination, that they gradually achieve and finish one by one. This is how they advanced unstoppable towards their great ultimate goal. 2. They do not recognize the reasons and believe in themselves. And advancing is also unstoppable means that they don't allow reasons. People are very vulnerable to take refuge in nonsense as a reason not to do something. However, successful people don't really pamper themselves in this luxury. If you are tired of suffering bad salaries and instability of your work, and you want to turn on the helmet, but you think it's impossible because you work and you have a family to be taken care of, I say it's not true, and it can be done. Think about, for example, from the opponent who at the age of 40 and in your same situation takes place by going up every working day at 6 a.m. to study 2 hours before going to work, plus 8 hours again I study on Saturday and Sunday. It's not a colorful story, it's real. Only a few people do it, but there are. The lesson here is that the impossible concept is something very, very relative. So, think carefully before saying I can't or it's impossible. Now, if you really want to know what will be achieved with the power of will, I suggest you take a little time to learn Kyle Maynard's story. Personally, of all I have seen, that's the most affecting me. Kyle was born with a condition known as innate amputation, that is, with the deformation of the innate limbs as if they had been amputated. Nonetheless, and thanks to the mentality of overcoming that his parents instilled him as a child, basically 2 elbows, he can write up to 50 words per minute on a normal keyboard, eat and write without any adaptation. Driving this vehicle has a little modification and live alone at a 3-story house in Atlanta, California. But not only this, among other things, he had succeeded in competing as the wrestler and had become the first quiz with climbing Mount Kilimanjaro without help, crawling 5,895 meters in just 10 days. I think now you understand me when I say that the concept of impossible is something very relative. What's more, don't you think that the example of his opponent is almost ridiculous then? Well, the impossible concept is very relative. 3. They stay focused. Knowing how to take action is fine, but you have to do it with logic and order, unlike headless chicken. If the passive person is very difficult, I think it's impossible to be successful with a blog. The person scattered is the same as crude oil. You must have a clear vision about your goals, focus on them and not deviate. If not, you won't advance. Stay focused also means knowing how to put aside other things that are fewer priorities that might seem like opportunities, but really only interference because they don't match your main goal, and involve investment time. A typical example that will happen to you when you start having a little visibility. Online advertising companies that promise excellent profits and want you to try their products because they should fit your niche. If you listen to emails with this kind of thing, I assure you likely 98% tens and dozens of hours are lost until you finally find that super opportunities are nonsense. Therefore, my recommendation, all of these disorders that only reduce you from your real goal, delete it without further ado from your inbox. And always remember that with any interference you attended, you take one more step from the success of your project. 4. They help others. One of the easiest ways to be successful is to do something useful for others and be great at it, something that others need or want or that simply entertains them. And this is something fantastic for a blogger because many people write to me precisely saying that they are overwhelmed by not knowing what to write about. They are more or less clear in what niche they want to get into, but they don't know what to write about. In that case, I recommend a trick: change your perspective. Don't think about what to write about, think about how you can solve problems for people, and try to relate the things you like, the things you are good at with those potential problems or people's needs. It is very likely that you will find things that fit that niche in which you want to get. If you can do something to improve people's lives, you will have a guaranteed audience. And if it is many people who have that problem, you will have a very large audience and, also, an audience that is very grateful to you, which is the best you can wish for. And if you do not see yourself capable of doing this yourself, no problem, ask people, ask continuously and listen a lot, let yourself be inspired by their answers. Like in one of those you find, for example, someone like the opponent from before who tells you how bad he's going through because it costs him a world to memorize so much information. It turns out that the light bulb lights up for you because you've always been fascinated by tricks and techniques to empower the mind hacks, as the Anglo-Saxons call them, but it was something that you had put aside many years ago, and never you remembered that hobby of yours. As you can see, with that example, if you work it out a bit, it is practically impossible not to find something that you might like. If you really have a vocation to be useful to others, all this will be a natural process that will motivate you and provide you with endless ideas for content. The rest, blog growth, content dissemination, personal brand, etc., will be automatic, a consequence of your usefulness to your community of readers. Orient your goals based on the needs of your audience. This involves listening, serving your community, responding to comments, asking surveys, responding to emails. You will be full of ideas to create content, and you will know that they will work. 5. They have a winning mentality, out of fear and shyness. We have all had experiences that impact you so deeply that after them, you are not the same person. For me, one of those experiences was Sir Ken Robinson's talk "Do Schools Kill Creativity?", which I was lucky enough to discover quite some time ago on TED.com. Here you can see it. The conclusion that underlies all the talk is as simple as it is shocking. They educate us to be mediocre. You may be struck by such a radical statement that is not heard often, but I assure you that if you see the talk, it is highly likely that you agree with it. Not surprisingly, this talk, after years and with the appearance of media such as YouTube, has gone viral and has only 35 million views on TED.com. I consider this statement to be totally true for many reasons, but fundamentally because they educate us not to depart from the established canons, from what the established educational systems consider desirable objectives. And what is worse, part of this is the fact that we are educated to fear failure by instilling in us from childhood the fear of not achieving these goals that no one seems to question. And that paralyses the ability to innovate with fresh and risky ideas. This translates in practice into things like the following scenario. Imagine a student with potential parents who want to give their son a prestigious MBA that costs a pasture, the best on the market. It turns out that the son tells his parents that he has another vocation and, in addition, he believes it is more productive to focus that effort on an online project, for example, a professional blog to create a powerful personal brand over the years. How will 99.9% of parents react? Well, taking the disgust of the century, right? It is not a conventional way of thinking, and they are not conventional objectives. They go off the map of what has been imposed on us as the right thing, and that in our culture automatically turns the option of the child into a bad one. You will agree that such a trial, without knowing the facts, can only be described as reckless and ignorant. And it is not that a master's degree is a good thing or a bad thing. The point is that it is not automatically the best option for everyone, not to mention that the current economic situation and the current saturation of the labor market have made a great dent in its effectiveness as a tool to find employment. Here is also an interesting reflection by Angel Allegre on the subject. Do not study a master. The tragedy of this is that with the relevance that concepts such as personal branding, and professional blogs are taking, this supposed nonsense of the idea of the blog in 10 years will surely be much better accepted. But today, as it is not part of the conventional, it is bad, without more, although in reality, it has the same sense now as in 10 years. These cultural gifts are a great drag because they drag us towards mediocrity, because they make us fear things that are out of the ordinary, even if they make all the sense in the world. It is a tremendous barrier to achieving extraordinary things because it prevents us from taking risks. But the path to success, true success, the one that makes you happy and not a well-paid slave, is not usually achieved without taking risks or innovating. Or, as Arnold Schwarzenegger says in his famous 6 rules to achieve success, break the rules, don't break the law, but from time to time, break the rules. You have to think outside the box, break the rules, don't break the law, but occasionally break the rules. You have to think outside the box. We can also take all this to the plane of the small details. We have this mentality so ingrained that it manifests itself even in trivial things. I see it every day in people who write to me asking for advice because they do not dare to go on video or publish a simple post for fear that they will laugh at them, to commit a small mistake that could leave them in a bad place publicly, etc. And this is a huge drag that makes it almost impossible to be successful at anything. Watching Sir Ken Robinson's talk helped me a lot to realize that this is the case and, derived from it, helped me to stop fearing failure, to assume that failure is inevitable, necessary, and even positive if you know how to take advantage of it. Learn. There is no reason to fear it. It's stupid. What's the worst that can happen to you if you post bad content? That people do not care. Point. And that is a problem. Don't bother me, well, do a better one next time, and that's it. As Arnold himself says, the real failure is if you fall down and don't get back up. Internalize this attitude, and many of the barriers that are preventing you from succeeding will fall like dominoes one after another. 6. They are in the process of permanent personal development. All these attitudes and personality traits are not acquired in 2 days. No matter how much you agree with what Ken Robinson says about fear of failure, you will continue to be nervous about a test, presentation, or job interview for a long time. These things don't change overnight. I myself learned these things some time ago, and I am still not able to put them into practice 100%. But it doesn't matter, and nothing happens, nobody is born perfect. The fact of the matter is that I am getting closer and closer, that's what matters. The important thing is to have clear ideas and work on them slowly but surely, develop a little more every day. 7. They are ambitious but not greedy. Solid success simmers. Many times, we see success stories of previously unknown people, and it seems that success has come to them overnight. But if we put aside the cases related to trash TV, the reality is usually very different. If you know the stories behind people who have been very successful in life, it is seldom like that. In the vast majority of these cases, success is a consequence of many years of hard work and a bit of luck at the right time. Luckily, without the previous work, it would have been useless. If you want to do something big, you have to aim high. You will hardly do it if you set very small goals. But on the road to success, it is also very easy to be seduced by greed when you start to have your first small triumphs. This can defocus your focus and spoil everything. In the case of bloggers, a typical example is a moment when the first income arrives. It is a tremendously motivating moment but also very dangerous because it can make you suddenly no longer think of the reader/client as the first priority but of the money. And that is usually a very typical reason to start making very bad decisions in your project that, over time, end up burying its true potential or even killing it altogether. There are many people to whom this happens, and the worst thing is that they do not realize that it is noticeable on all 4 sides. They have a bit of success, they get greedy, they start to see the duster, and they are already killing their personal brand. So, if you start to do well, be careful not to allow yourself to be seduced by greed and forget about the principles that had led you to the point where you were when you started to do well. 8. They surround themselves with positive people and go past the trolls. There is a phrase from the motivational speaker Jim Rohn that says, "You are the average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most time." Other people have taken this phrase to other areas, saying things like, "Your income is the average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most time." I do not know if it will be exactly the average, but there is no doubt that there is much truth in this idea that people around us have an immense influence on us, our interests, and our decisions, both for better and for worse. For this reason, many people, such as one of the bloggers that I follow the most and recommend to follow, Neil Patel, usually advise surrounding yourself with people who bring you positivity and inspiration and stay away from those who do the opposite. But this same principle can also be carried to other areas. For example, in blogging, we tend to be too shocked by negative reviews, much more than by positive ones. Imagine the following scenario. You have made a great post, a 5,000-word post that took you weeks to put together, a smash hit. Over time this post has garnered more than 100 very positive comments. Suddenly, a negative comment arrives, in addition, a comment that you have to admit is right, and that it has been written in an extremely constructive way. That is, it is not a simple troll that you can just ignore. What will dominate your mind? That one negative comment, or the 100 positives? If what predominates in your mind is not a negative comment, I congratulate you because you are a great exception. In the average blogger, negative criticism tends to grab almost all the attention, and it even tends to affect us emotionally and divert attention from positive reviews, even if they win by a landslide in number. It makes us lose the objective view of the facts and completely vitiates the global picture. This is a big mistake. Because if it is constructive and justified criticism, it is not something negative, it is something positive and, therefore, to be appreciated. Humbly acknowledge your mistakes and issue solved, it's that simple. No one worthwhile will look down on you for it, quite the contrary, I assure you. And if it is not, if it is simply a troll who wants to take it for granted, do not waste a minute with it, your time is too precious for it. There is no point in debating with people like that, they are not your goal, they only seek to make noise and damage, and you are much better off without them on your blog. Luckily, personally, I have not had big problems with trolls, except once a commenter put me to give birth in a hosting article accusing me of deceiving people in order to collect affiliate commissions. It took me a second to delete the comment and block his IP address. Not that it was a perfect technical solution to prevent you from accessing the blog again, but it did convey the message I wanted to get across. It just seems to me to be something that is not acceptable on a site that offers free content intended to inform and help readers. You don't want to have people like that among your readers. If they don't like your blog for any reason, they are very free to go elsewhere. There are many other readers out there who will be delighted to enjoy what your blog has to offer, focus on them. 9. They leave the skin working. And this point should be obvious, no matter what success story you read, behind each one, there is always much work. No one succeeds by chance, and there are no shortcuts. And the most interesting and motivating thing that I have found in common among the success stories I have seen is that your skills tend to be much more important to success than your talent. Ponder for a moment what this means. Talent is innate, skills can be acquired. It's great news, isn't it? How to be successful faster than anyone? Do you want to succeed faster than others? Well, you can do it because the world changes every day with new innovation and technology. If you can plant and change yourself like successful people, then success will pursue you. Everyone wants to be successful, But not everyone knows what really makes people succeed. Well, this is the truth. People successfully work and improve themselves consistently. In other words, if you want to be like them, then you need to work like them. Here is how to be successful faster than anyone. Successful businessman standing in front of the window. 1. Learn every day. People are successful committed to learning every day. You need to learn new things and expand your knowledge. There are quotes that say, "The more you learn, the more you produce." You must be a lifelong student. This is what makes you grow and develop into the person you want. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey learned new things every day. This billionaire reads new things, and they value their most efficient time. 2. Continue to improve yourself. Success did not occur overnight. You need to improve yourself to be the best version of yourself. Learning and improvement is an important part of life. If you don't improve, you don't grow. You must stop and focus on your life. Ask yourself questions such as, are you learning something new every day for at least 1 hour? Do you work on yourself every hour to achieve your goals? This will help you pay attention to yourself and your life. So, you can control the direction of your life. 3. Watch your mind. You become what you think. This can change your life dramatically. Stop thinking about negative thoughts, for example, what if I fail, what if this happens, etc. You need to focus on positive things if you want to succeed. Most people focus on negative items, and they think they are preparing for a bad time. But the reality is, they become something that stops them from reaching their full potential. This belief holds them forever. Start focusing on the positive side and notice how you change your life into an extraordinary life. This is the key to success in life. Negativity will not change your life, but participants will bring high energy to your body to achieve whatever you want. 4. Keep thinking big. If you are going to think of something, why not think of something big? Your life is a mirror of your belief system. You are what you believe about yourself. For example, when you think big, your brain starts to find a strategy to reach a greater level. This is how our brain works. It's been said, if you think big, you will be big. Aim your thoughts to think big, and finally, you will get the results. Great thinking is very important to be successful. Think big. It's important because it allows you to forget about problems and focus on bigger things and greater prizes in your life. 5. Focus on the most important. Habits can make you or break you. If you are living with bad habits, then it is impossible to reach your goals. Most people waste their time watching television, scrolling Facebook, and other social media. You need to redirect your focus to the most important thing. Watch your behavior. In other words, if you do something that won't take you anywhere, guess what? You are wasting time. Do things that make you closer to your goals every day. This is how to be successful and rich in life, to live the life you imagine. 6. Have a vision. Let me ask you something. Where do you want 5 years from now? This is the most important question for your life. You need to keep an eye on gifts for success. When you don't have a vision, you are an airplane around the ocean, and who doesn't know where you are going? Successful people oversee gifts like eagles. They continue to work hard and make movements and keep the eyes on the destination. You need to see 5 years from now to reach higher than today. Know where you will go and control the direction of your life. 7. Don't be afraid to fail. No one has ever reached a high level of success without fail. School is the biggest reason for fear of failure. Because the education system tells you that you should not fail, if not, you will be left behind. But this is not the way it works in life. You must repeatedly fail in life. Do you remember the day when you were little and learned how to walk? You must have fallen 50 times for sure. But you never said, "Walking isn't for me." Said, "If you don't fail, you don't grow." If you want to succeed, then you have to fail and learn from your mistakes. Make sure you have never made the same mistake twice. If you fail in something, then learn why it doesn't work and take a lesson from it. Do it again, and this is how people got success last night. Because no one pays attention to how many times you fail when you become successful. 8. Believe in yourself. Success is the result of consistent efforts. But first, you need to believe in your potential that you can achieve a higher level of success. Everyone who successfully becomes successful twice, first, in their minds, second, in reality. They believe in their dream strength. You have unlimited potential, and you need to believe it. Believe in yourself, and you will have everything you want in life. Remember, a bird sitting on a tree branch is not afraid to fall because he believes in his own wings. Most people believe in the negative side, and this is the reason why they didn't work. Successful people believe that they have control to change their lives. If you can believe that, you can achieve that. Point 9. Be consistent. Most people do what's important occasionally. But this doesn't take you anywhere. However, to achieve a high success rate, you need consistent efforts every day. Great achievers do it, get better and better and better until they reach the highest level of success without losing enthusiasm. If you spend 1 to 2 hours on the most important job consistently, you will become a master in 5 years. Finally, you can tell others how to be successful to guide them in the right direction. 10. Follow your heart. Sometimes you have to listen to your intuition. While Steve Jobs said, "Follow your heart and intuition," they already know what you really want to become, everything else is secondary. When you like what you do, there is no word count. In other words, you will be full of energy and excitement. To succeed, you have to stop listening to others and start listening to yourself. Tips for how to become successful. Here is a list of 10 tips to help you become successful in your life. 1. Be committed. Thanks to the commitment, you can get the motivation to continue success. You should make a list that includes your goal, your level of commitment to the goal, and what you are willing to do to achieve this goal. Stay focused on your plan is crucial. This helps. Set aside at least 15 minutes a day to reflect on your plan and work there. This will keep your new goal in your mind and allow you to continue to focus on it. To determine your commitment to your goal, it is important to make sure you have realistic expectations of yourself and the result. If your commitment does not reimburse after a certain period of time, you must adjust your goal accordingly and revise the necessary steps. Sometimes it may be useful to ask a friend or family member to help you commit to your commitments. Having someone who will hold you to take into account gaps and wrench your success can really help you stay attached to your goal. 2. Learn from the journey. Rather than strictly focusing on the results of your achievements, take notification of the small steps needed to succeed. If you allow yourself to enjoy small victories along your route, reach your goal will become a new adventure every day, and you will be more likely to stay on track. By doing this, you will learn new and exciting things along the way, which can help you become a person. 3. Have fun along the way. If the journey to reach something becomes too tedious, it will be harder to succeed. Learn what you are able to be fun and exciting, so it's important to keep your lightweight and fun goals in order to have an emotionally positive experience and continue to advance without losing perspective. 4. Think positively. Develop a positive state of mind consists of trusting you and your ability to succeed. It is important to replace negative thoughts with positive people to motivate you to continue trying for the challenges of your way. Think about when babies learn to walk. They do not stop when they fall. They find themselves and continue to go up. One day, they are able to move and cope with the ease. On your way to success, you probably learn new things and think differently than before. Your goals will not occur overnight. They will take practice and discipline to reach, so it is essential to think positively in the process. 5. Change your perspective. Sometimes, along the trip, you have to change your point of view to transform a difficult situation into a better one. When you have a bad day or a week, imagine rather than it's a good day or a good week. Give yourself the opportunity and time to think about your situation using only positive language and see how your day or week changes. Do this for a prolonged period could change all your life. 6. Be honest with yourself. If you find your goal is stopped, you may need to be honest with yourself about why it's. After being understandable, try to find a solution to push you to success. Challenge yourself from getting out of your comfort zone. This could mean an additional set of squats, talking to a supervisor on a promotion, or even register for a difficult college class that you have not previously envisaged. 7. Take away distractions. Make a list of things in your life that take your time or distract you. This could be a telephone, a TV show, or even a person who makes you stress. Turn off your phone and put it in a different room when it's time to focus on your goal. Turn off the TV, and turn the remote through the room. Only stay in touch with people who have a positive impact on your life. This is the best time to start changing habits so that you can focus on success without distraction. 8. Count on yourself. You cannot rely on others to achieve your goals for you. Your best friend cannot take a class for you. Your mother cannot promote you. Your partner cannot lose extra weight for you. These are all things you have to do yourself. It can be beneficial to count on others for emotional support, but as you have your needs, friends and family have their own too. It is important to take you into account to achieve your goals and make you happy. 9. Continue planning. Get to a program when working on your goals. Give yourself challenges according to your personal calendar, such as I will run 1 kilometer of 7 minutes by the end of the month, or I will save $5,000 by the end of the year. Even if you do not realize the goal, you will have your starting point in your calendar and see progress. If you plan your goals and you follow them in a calendar, you will always have proof of your progress. Having some tangible things is a great motivator to keep working to succeed. 10. Avoid being burned. It is important to focus on your goals, but don't be obsessed. Keep your trip productive but also fun will ensure you are motivated without overhanging yourself. Sitting and thinking about your goal all the time can prevent you from burning. Your previous purpose is fun to be more like something you have to do than something you want to do. Keep learning about how big you can grow and achieve to avoid burning. Steps you need in order to reach success. Do something. People who carry or those who wait for the right time never make their first attempt and never succeed. People who fear trying or fear success never reach something too. Look at the failure differently. Failure is nothing more than discovering that you do not follow the right approach. No failure, you would never know about the mistakes you have made and that success can never be achieved. Avoid mistakes and try again. Just after your failure, give it another try after correcting the errors you have made during the previous attempt. Change your perspective on risk. People say that the risk is a noble thing. If you do not risk, you cannot master the highest peaks. No matter the terrifying of the case, it is necessary to go ahead to break down all the obstacles on your way. Of course, In-depth planning will not cause any damage and can actually contribute to the solution of good solution problems, but if you noticed that you would postpone all the time, it's time to take a risk. Only actions will bring results. The big deadline. It's a crucial factor in your success. At all stages of success, being able to take action on your process objectives quickly and follow a timeline you have defined for yourself may be the most important of all. Without the big delay, we will never cry and never reach our goals. As the old adage says, dreams are only objectives without deadlines. Once you have a great time in place, you will be on your way to success. He almost liked the former Alan Woody Allen, 80% of success is presented. In this case, 80% of your success could come from the definition of this deadline. Define a difficult but manageable deadline, a date on which you put outside your comfort zone to make large breakthroughs in your life. Good vibes. Flow Ra.